Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Designer Future podcast. Got a very special guest on today. Brandon, go ahead and introduce yourself for me, please, man.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Brandon Blankenship, and I am a real estate agent, young millennial real estate agent out in Los Angeles, California. I'm a big advocate of, combine the new school marketing as well as old school marketing to explode my business and, just take it to places where I wanted to go. And I do thank you, Olley, for having me on this interview. I'm excited.
Wicked, man, wicked. So before we get into like the nitty gritty side of things, firstly, just tell me a little bit about like what sort of motivated you to get into real estate.
Long story short, I graduated from college back in, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Moved out to California, got a full-time job right away, quit like 2 days later. And then, I was just like, oh, I'm like 22, don't want to work a full-time job. So I have a family friend that's a real estate agent out in Beverly Hills. And I kind of just like started bouncing ideas off him one day. And he brought up real estate to me. And then I started reading a ton of books, watched a lot of YouTube videos. And then long story short, I'm just like, wow, real estate, there's so many avenues you can take it. Not just selling and buying houses, but you really can create a huge social platform, a huge brand, create brand awareness, and you can take it different avenues besides real estate. So that's just long story short, that's where I am today.
Awesome. So yeah, before we get into like the technical side of things as well, it'd really be good to just let the audience know a little bit how you've been utilizing, like social media platforms to basically leverage what you're doing as a real estate agent.
Right. So right, Ollie. It's pretty. Real estate's one of those businesses where 90% of the agents fail in the first year, and the median age for a real estate agent is about 55 to 58, I believe. So there's a lot of more elderly, older people into the business. So like I said in the beginning, I combine new school marketing as well as old school marketing. And with social media apps, I'm like big on. I use TikTok a lot, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and a lot of people bash TikTok, saying it's like, oh, you can't do anything with it. But what I realized today with, today's generation is the attention span is so short. So you really need to catch people's attention like right off the start. And TikTok is a great platform to do so. How I look at TikTok is I look at it as a third-party source. I wanted to use my TikTok to relay people to my Instagram, as well as my YouTube. My YouTube has my longer content, my Instagram and TikTok have my shorter content. Instagram specifically is I'm pretty big on. I really use it when I create content on there. Create videos. I want to make sure that I'm on there because at the end of the day, real estate content is boring if you're not, looking into real estate right now. So creating videos with, short 1 minute videos with like a timer bar at the bottom with at least 4 words of the text of like what you're going to say in the video and what the video is about is huge. And, Instagram does well for me in generating leads. I don't have a huge sphere of influence being here in LA with real estate. So, being able to get a lot of eyes on me, utilizing every social media platform, that's what I use today for my business.
Wicked, man. Wicked. So next thing I'd like to ask is what would free apps be if I was to take them away from you, right? So if I was to take 3 apps away from you, what would those 3 apps be that you feel like you would really struggle without those in your arsenal?
3 apps taken away from me in my arsenal right now, if they weren't in my business, is definitely Instagram is one. Instagram is huge for me. I use Instagram all the time. Ever since I've been a real estate agent, there's never not been anything on my Instagram story. So that's something I take real pride of. 2 would probably be Facebook. I think Facebook's a great way. If you're afraid of texting people just to chat with them, I think Facebook's a great way to meet new people and break the ice because they already see your profile. So Facebook's a huge. And then definitely YouTube. It's all about search engine optimization at the end of the day. You want to create videos that people search. And I think those are the 3 huge ones right now. And I think with all 3 of those, they're kind of never-ending lead generation. So that's why I love them so much. So yeah, I would, like I said, I combine the old school. So I still cold call, I still door knock. But if I don't have that new school, it doesn't set me up for the long game on how I envision myself.
Wicked, wicked. So funnily enough, like the one thing that you've sort of differed from a lot of people is like you've literally just listed like 3 social media apps, which is great. So as an extension for that, is there any apps that you use in terms of like productivity as well?
TikTok. You'd be surprised. I mean, I know you probably hear all the same things from your clients, and just being a consumer of TikTok Ollie. Um, people think TikTok is for young kids, but no, there's some great content when it comes to learning about financial literacy, learning about side hustles, new books. Like, there's a lot of educational content, and it makes you think. It's in a fun way, like these boring topics of, like, side hustles, blah blah blah. Before getting started, it's just really motivating, and it's really captivating to see that there's just that content that's short and quick. Like, it's for people our age and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, for the guys watching and listening, the main thing about TikTok as well is a lot of people think it is just like people dancing and stuff on there, but
Right.
you need to think that TikTok also, like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, has an algorithm, right? So if you're
Right.
searching for the type of content that Brandon was just talking about, that's what your
Right.
content is then going to be fed to you in the long run. So of course, if you're watching
Right.
people dancing and stuff like that,
Right.
your suggested videos are going to continuously be those videos. But if you
Right.
sort of train your TikTok feed in a sense, that's the type of informational videos that you'll get back in return.
Exactly.
One thing I'd love to ask you is, especially because you're coming from like a real estate background that's also
Mhm.
interested in digital marketing and sort of bringing the two together, is there
Mhm.
is there like a book that stands out to you? I know you mentioned to me you read a lot of books. Is there one specific book that would stand out to you? Let's say, for example, someone's literally come onto YouTube and they've typed in how to make money online, or how to get started as a real estate agent.
Mhm. So you're talking about, like, just books in general that took me to
Yeah,
real
just
estate?
honestly, yeah, like whether it was like something that really just crossed something out in terms of mindset, or actual strategies, just in
Right.
general.
Honestly, really cliche as it sounds, I've never been a huge book reader. I really got into books maybe like 2 years ago, but it changed my life, honestly. But the very first book I ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everyone reads that book first, and it's either hit or miss with people.
Hmm.
A lot more hits. It makes people realize a lot more things because it's so relatable. Robert Kiyosaki talks about, working in a grocery store. I worked in the grocery store when I was 15. Like, I understand. He's like talks about how money, you're working for money, how make money work for you. But now, like, a book that I take for any business owner, any entrepreneur, is definitely it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that's probably the greatest book in the world. It really just talks to you about, customer service, how to get people to work with you. Because one thing I really take to heart is, at the end of the day, when it comes to real estate, when it comes to, any sort of online marketing, online business, is that, people don't like to be sold to. People love buying with friends, though. So, just creating a great rapport with people, and, just giving a lot more before you start taking, because at the end of the day, you want to be a raving fan to these people, to your clients, because at the end of the day, the best kind of business is referral business. So I think, yeah, those 2 books, Rich Dad Poor Dad and How to Win Friends and Influence People, are just 2 books you need on your arsenal for any sort of business. Real estate, it helps a ton. Online marketing helps a ton. Drop shipping, any business. I'm a firm believer in those 2 books.
Amazing, cool. Another great question I'd like to ask is, do you use ClickFunnels?
I don't use ClickFunnels. I was going to ask you about those.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, obviously, like the Facebook and stuff, if you could quickly just wrap up like your sort of like funnel in a sense, just because we're talking about ClickFunnels, right? Even though you're not using a software like ClickFunnels, you
Right.
obviously have some sort of funnel that you take people through in terms of, like you mentioned before, engaging with them on social media.
Right.
What's the next step from them, becoming aware of you on social media to, essentially becoming a lead into your business?
So okay, I'll say this. So for all these real estate agents listening to this right now, this is huge. If you're not on Instagram, you're not on Facebook, you have to utilize it. For Facebook, utilize your neighborhood Facebook groups. If there's activities you love, like basketball, hiking, join those groups around your area, and engage in the community and add those people. That is huge for Instagram specifically. What I love, the reason I create the content that I do. If you want to pull up something up for my Instagram whenever I'll in this video, but what I think is huge, I make these 60-second videos about content that's super relatable, super quick to the point. You know when it's gonna finish, and you know, I go into my search bar and I type in a certain location that I live next to, and from there you can figure out your ideal clientele that you would want to work with. You know, so you type in that location, you go in the recent photos, and you just go through and you find people, find pictures that you relate to a lot. You comment on those pictures. You comment something that you know, it's from the heart, something a little sincere and a little more than cool. You know,
Mhm.
cool an emoji or just emojis, and you type something out. Chances are they're gonna look in your profile. If right off the bat, if they can't tell you're a real estate agent, you're doing something wrong with your profile, right? And from there, they either do a couple things. They'll reply to your comment or they'll follow you. I want them to follow me. If they follow me, I kind of got them on the hook. So I reach out to them via DMs. I don't go push you right away. I just, you know, I just tell them, hey, I hope you're doing well, blah, blah. Let's stay in touch. Let me know if you need anything. And then over time, they see my stories all the time. That's the reason why I push Instagram stories all the time, because I stay top of mind. It helps the algorithm when they keep looking at my content. So from there, they start replying to my stuff. They start commenting on my stuff, start swiping up and clicking an emoji. And you know, that's when I kind of get them interested. I just ask them, I just pop the question, you know, do they need help? Do they have any questions at all? And they usually give me a time frame, and I love it. They give me their number, they give me their email, and you know, I have good relationships with people from Instagram now, just from COVID. I think that's huge. So that's kind of the fun loan I'm doing right now for my Facebook and Instagram, and they're huge. They're really huge.
Amazing, amazing, wicked. So the next question is usually, do you use cold email?
I don't use cold email. I don't use cold email at all, but I do have an email marketing campaign. Nothing crazy. I kind of send like a weekly email from the emails that I collect through social media, through cold calling, through door knocking. Um, that's really what I do right now. People do engage in it. I drop relevant content, not just real estate, but like, you know, things around the community to do for the weekend for the family. So I do content like that.
Amazing, amazing. So just on the back of what you've said about sort of like your organic sort of methods with Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, TikTok, etc., have you ever dabbled in like any paid advertising, or has it always been organic for you?
It's always been organic right now, but you know, as we keep continuing to transition, I know that the new school marketing techniques are going to surpass the old school marketing techniques. Granted, you're at the end of the day, you're still going to need to pick up the phone and call that lead that you generate from on or from the new school marketing, whether it be funnels, Facebook ads, any sort of ads. You're going to need to pick up the phone and call them. So I think that's great right now is that, you know, I'm getting used to talking on the phone, because if there's anyone that's ever cold called before in any sort of business, you know that cold calling in a short few months can teach you more than school has ever taught you in life, just in the ways of communicating and selling to people. So yeah, that's kind of where I am right now, just organic content. Haven't dabbled really into the paid advertising yet.
Amazing, amazing. So one thing I really want to dive deeper in with you
Right.
is the YouTube, right? Because you
Okay.
know, I'm pretty sure that's where we originally connected, and that's where I
Yep.
first come across you, right? So, just talk to me a little bit in general about what was your incentive. I know obviously you like creating content and stuff like that, but you know,
Mhm.
for a real estate agent that might see you creating content around real estate and is like, you know, they can never really see themselves in those shoes and of creating content on YouTube as a real estate agent, right? What sort of made you get into that, and what's the benefits long term it's been bringing to you?
So I'll kind of, yeah. So before, me and you found each other. You and I found each other through Karen's YouTube, Facebook group, and yeah, I was creating content from there, like towards real estate agents, just documenting my journey. And I would get so many real estate agents, like, you know, not like a ton, but like daily, there would be a new real estate agent just like messaging me on Instagram. And I got into Karen's channel and I was like, I don't want this as my clientele, you know. I mean, I do, it's cool. You know, I love helping people out. You know, I think it's huge when you teach someone your ideas, you know, you get good karma coming back at you. That's why I'm always an open book and spilling all my secrets on what I do. But you know, ideally, I want to attract clients that I'm going to do business with. So I kind of flip my switch. unlisted all my videos, and I started creating content. And I remember I created a video on like a first time home buyer for California, and I got a call from a client. I got an email from a client within like the first week. And that made me realize, I was like, okay, there's something bigger behind this. So I really started digging into that search engine optimization, using keyword search, using TubeBuddy, and then boom. Ever since that, I just started finding more and more content, how to create, how to get people calling me and me looking like a superstar with these YouTube videos already. So I think it's great. You know, I think I've definitely found a niche, creating YouTube videos towards like sellers, because a lot of people at the end of the day move out of California instead of moving in, just because it's so expensive. You know, you get a lot more bang for your buck in neighboring states around. So that's kind of where I'm at with my YouTube, and I think YouTube is amazing. YouTube is combined with Google. Is that correct? In
Yeah.
terms of optimization. So you know, if you can run those two things, I mean, Google Business Page is huge as well. You just, if you're searchable, I get people calling me just from simple Google searches about real estate agents in the area. It's because I'm on every single platform, so they push me ahead. So
Amazing. That's amazing. So
yeah,
what would be, let's say, as we mentioned before, right? Let's imagine someone's jumped on and, you know, they started typing, because we've talked about search engine optimization, right? Let's imagine someone's typed in how to start creating content as a real estate agent. Where would you sort of start if you had never made any content before? And what would your advice be to someone that is, you know, fresh off the boat making content and really wants to put together a long-term strategy for
right.
social media to bring in leads?
Right. That's a great question, Ollie. So when I first got into real estate, you know, I made a brand new real estate Instagram page. So obviously you don't look like a professional when you have zero content on there, right? So I made it a, you know, like a promise to myself that I will post every single day for 60 days straight, just so my, you know, my page looks vibrant. It has content on there. It doesn't make me look new. Like, it makes me look professional. And then I posted, you know, 60 days straight, and that got my Instagram going right there. And like everything I built, like I don't ask anyone to follow me from my, you know, my personal pages and stuff like that on Instagram. I just wanted to grow it organically. Um, so that worked, and that was great. So I think the first thing to do if you're a new real estate agent, or you're just a real estate agent dabbling into social media, is just to post. Like it's as simple as that. Like no one really cares. You know, where it's coming from. I think people really need to, for any business you're starting, that you don't focus on the followers, don't focus on the likes. You just really need those 5 followers that love your content. They just make, if your content's shareable, they love it. You know, you can just make it shareable. So I think people are really stuck in that phase where it's like, oh, I need all these followers, I need all these likes. No, you just need to you know, hashtag right. You need to just get it out to the people that want to see that content, because you only need one person. You only need one person to see it, and it's a domino effect from there. So just, yeah, my advice to new agents, to people new to social media that are real estate agents, is just, you know, just start creating.
Yeah.
Create more, consume less.
Quality. And yeah, for the guys obviously listening and watching, that's one thing I always talk about. No matter what business you're in, no matter who you're serving as your clients, you know, people buy from people at the end of the day. So Brandon could literally be making videos about his favorite coffee, but like he said before, people know he's a real estate agent. So, okay, yeah, they might see his video about him talking about his favorite coffee, click onto his profile. Oh, he's a real estate agent. I'm looking to sell my house, because they like, you know, they like him, right? People buy from people. So yeah,
Exactly.
great tip. You know, no matter what you're in terms of your niche, just start creating content, because it's your personality that's going to shine through to these people. So the
Right.
last question I'd like to ask is about teams and outsourcing. You know, have you built a team around what you're doing now? Or are you sort of still by yourself as like an independent?
Still by myself as an independent. You know, I have like really big goals. Like I have my goals lined up. You know, obviously I do want to outsource it as I get busier and busier. But right now, I just think it's great to just, like, you know, learn everything yourself, so you know what you want when you do begin to outsource you know, your content to get created, to get edited, to get chopped up, to get created for you. So you kind of have like that kind of like outframe, that framework, that how you want your content to be when you start outsourcing it. So everything right now is all organic. You know, eventually, yeah, I 110% want to outsource everything. Because I think it's just, at the end of the day, being a business owner, time is everything. Time is precious. So, I mean, COVID's definitely allowed me to take a step back. Because I was working so hard, like hustling for just my business pre-COVID. But then once COVID hit, my foot was on the gas, like for the first month. But then, I had to take a step back and realize, like, I think just putting everything into perspective on like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? It just realized me like, okay, I can do a lot of things and there's a lot of time right now, but it made me realize I'm like, okay, I need to have a bigger goal. I need to, remember that just start connecting with people to like, that just start, because I'm going to outsource everything. And that's my goal with like the whole content. I just want to help people. At the end of the day, I just want to help people reach their real estate goals and exceed them. So, like the social media stuff, I'm going to have a framework for when I outsource it. So, whoever I'm working with knows like what my idea is, what my message is to people. So.
Amazing. Wicked. So obviously, what the podcast is called, it's Design a Future. As I mentioned to Brandon before, it's really great to have him on because, to see a real estate agent utilizing and leveraging social media is amazing. But one thing I like to do on this podcast when we get to the end is to really talk about, you designing a future, which I definitely think you've done. You've took the initiative to really go out of your way, because not all real estate agents are creating YouTube videos, active on social media. So with that sort of being said, where would you like to be in a year's time from now? Because that's one thing I love to say is, I'd love to have you on a year's from now and just talk about, how you've developed within that time as well.
Right. So a year from now, for sure, it's kind of crazy. I would love to be dual licensed here in California and back in Illinois. Still young, no kids, no girlfriend, no wife. So it's, I have all the time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But year time from now, I would really love a huge personal brand. At the end of the day, everyone Googles everything. If you can become searchable on Google, like that's so key. Continue my cold calls, continue my door knocking. Obviously, COVID's kind of putting things to a halt or just making you have to adapt to the scenarios right now. And, I'm one of those people that's like, I wish COVID was ending. I wish things would go back to normal, but you can't think like that. I'm thinking that like, COVID's going to last so long. So you really need to, I think this is a great time to really establish your personal brand. Even on your personal pages, just get the word out that you're in so-and-so business. And I think that's huge. So a year from now, for sure. I want to, have a better personal brand, continue the YouTube videos, continue search engine optimization, really thrive in my business and real estate, and just go from there.
Wicked, man. Wicked. Well, I'm sure you're going to do that, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table in the next couple of months. Well, thank you very much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you all the best, and I shall see you soon. And guys, for the people watching and listening, thank you for watching. No problem, man. No problem. And we'll speak to you in the next episode, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Hollywood 6.